on.
They're playing knifey spoony in this.
To two dads, a banana, and a console. I'm one of your hosts, Waba Plays, alongside as always Court. Hello, Court.
Yeah, what's up?
I know I skipped the part where it says we know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest.
Yeah, you definitely didn't follow my
you
script.
need to know about, but
yeah,
we're here to do that for you. Also, this show is kid friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. I just want to get to the banana part. Hi, Court.
Hey, I'm gonna split from this podcast. Hey.
Hey.
So if you're wondering why we're saying that, you should check us out on youtube.com/3dads&a-console so you can see the one, the only Pez, the Banana Man. Hello.
What's up, gents? How's it going?
Dude, just audio listeners in shambles right now.
They had no idea. They had no idea.
The joke's above them.
But I'm glad they're here. And we are also joined by special guest Aaron. Hello, welcome back.
Hello. I really appreciated it. 3-time. I appreciate Court peeling back the layers of that joke.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
God, you guys are such a
Destroying it.
bunch of buffoons. Banana bunch? Banana boat?
God, this episode is already going bananas, huh?
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Well, so there hasn't we're gonna talk about a few things. Most of it actually is not video game related, but again, if you're watching, everyone has their hockey jersey on except me because it's hot.
Yet
But
again.
it is not only free agency. We're gonna be talking some hockey. We're gonna be talking some dad topics. So if you don't care about hockey, you want to stick around because we're gonna be talking dad things. But first we want to talk hockey. One, it's free agency, and two, Aaron is a 2-year
2-year
Av fan.
Yeah, 3 years. I started in the postseason 3 seasons ago, which was a terrible time to jump in. And I was like, that's it. Next year, I'm getting back into hockey. And then last season, you guys had me on. I opened some cards. 3 out of 4 of us wore jerseys. I think we all know who just couldn't do it.
That's
twice in a row. It's fine.
I think he doesn't own one, to be totally honest.
Yeah. I pulled a really good rookie card that you all were excited about that I immediately put in a case, and now I know where it is, but I don't remember the players.
So you got Kaprizov, who may or may not be allowed back in the country.
Yeah, seriously, straight up having issues right now.
Wait,
I was
what?
gonna get
I
his
didn't hear
young-
this.
Yeah, so Kaprizov is amazing, and I have 2 of his young guns, like pack fresh, and he was forging military IDs in Russia, and they
As
won't
one
like
does.
he can't get back here. Yeah, as one does. He's trying to go through like what is it, like Dubai. He's been trying to he can't get back into the country, and if he can't, and he goes back to Russia. Like, who the hell knows what the hell is gonna happen?
He gone.
Maybe he'll
Yeah.
share us.
I passed on the talent after that episode, though. So I opened that card, and then my kid wanted to start getting into cards, and we'd been watching like a little bit of pro wrestling, so he got some pro wrestling cards.
Yeah.
And he got some card of a wrestler as an earthworm that's worth like $300. So
Sell it.
we cased that one too.
There's
W.
someone who out there whose that sentence makes sense to them.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense to me. I can promise you that. I was like,
Aaron.
this seems weird. So we looked it up, and I was like, oh, cool. Let's case this.
Waba and I had this discussion last week. Where do you wear the championship belt? On your waist or over your shoulder?
You walk out over your shoulder, and when you win, it goes around the waist.
I think it's the shoulder, dude.
And
Because the Rock
this is
from
the
the
reason
top
I
row.
don't like.
holds
This
it.
is the reason I don't like Naughty Dog games.
Wow. Just going for it.
I'm gonna have to say, because of Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, it's definitely around the waist.
Definitely
Yeah.
on the waist.
See, and I actually think it's sport dependent because, like, MMA, UFC, it's always like the big show that they get it wrapped around their waist. And then most wrestlers, it seems like they're good with the shoulder.
The shoulder's so cool. Or you could be like Bernard Hopkins and have too many belts. So you have to have your entourage hold it behind you before every fight. Man had 5 belts.
Who's Bernard Hopkins? I don't even know who that is.
It was before boxing was rigged. And also full of TikTokers. So back when it was good, 2004. So we said,
back when boxing was good, 2004.
Boxing, dude, I used to watch a lot.
Boxing was in like the 90s.
We went before boxing is rigged, and he has a lot of TikTokers, like those.
No. There's a lot of TikTokers. Before it was full of TikTokers.
Who are boxers?
Well, they're TikTokers who box.
Oh, like Logan Paul.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's now a
You
wrestler.
mean WWE superstar?
Logan Paul. That's right.
Honestly, you want a card that's worth a lot? Find his. When he gets that 1-for-1 auto, he'll buy it himself.
No one cares.
I'll care when I'm going to Disney World because of Logan Paul's auto.
What is happening here? Is this your new thing? This is like, you know.
It is now. Waba's releasing his new personality.
No, Waba actually goes out on weekends and he buys things, and he got a Ouija board. I'm going to bring right into it. And it turns out that this Ouija board is not just any Ouija board. It's like first print.
Yeah, it's from 1891.
Yeah.
You need to burn that, bury it in some pet cemetery. Like, you need to get rid of that thing.
So the reason why I can't show it here is because everybody wanted it out of the house. I was actually trying to value it, and I've talked to some experts. Like the world, I'm texting with the world's foremost Ouija expert. I got their information.
Satan?
They just I already have my speed now. I'm just texting the New Jersey Devil.
Is his name Lou?
I had it off to the side, and everyone was telling me like it's cursed, it's full of goats. I'm like, whatever, man. This thing could be worth like $600 to $1,000, and I bought it for $1. My wife told me that our daughter said that she woke up and she saw ghosts. Now, I don't believe in this stuff.
Get it out of your house.
You need to get that out of your house.
It's in my storage unit right now. It's not in the home, so it's in a suitcase zipped up. Like that's gonna help. But I have a
you gotta have layers
Ouija
of
board.
protection.
So if any layers, a Christmas tree shop because it has the words Christ on it, because Christ compels or whatever. I don't know. I saw The Exorcist a trailer once, and then I have a blue suitcase that it's in. So I'm pretty sure that'll keep the demons out.
Yeah, that'll probably work.
Waba patented. Maybe I'll sell this suitcase as previously haunted to someone who cares about that stuff. But yeah. But we're here to talk about hockey. If the only devil we're talking about is the New Jersey Devil, Aaron is in his second year of enjoying this sport, because all the other sports are lame. And his team won!
We won. The last time I was into hockey, we won. I left for a long time after the strike, and now I'm back and we won again. So clearly it's me.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I mean, don't act like you never saw a Stanley Cup Waba.
Hold on. He didn't just wait. He got to go to a playoff game this year.
Yeah. Which one did you go to?
We lost.
Yeah, but what game was it in the finals?
They beat us at home. I'm trying to think of which number. Like, because we won the first 2. 5.
Yeah, it would have been game 5.
Yeah.
I was gonna make if the cup was there.
Oh my god.
And they lost.
Imagine?
Oh my
gosh.
Imagine? That would have been heartbreaking.
Yeah. Dude, there's something special about going to Stanley Cup games.
Yeah.
The energy is incredible.
They're unbelievable.
It's different. Yeah.
When did you guys go?
I was at game 5 for Stanley Cup Finals when the trip hurls. The fact that Achari signed with the St. Louis Blues today is the most hilarious thing ever. But it was when Achari got tripped, and that was also when Chara came back when he had the broken jaw and the whole stand. Like it was funny. So many people I walk out and I was at the game with her like, oh, this is like the best sporting event ever. And I was like, it was great. Unfortunately, I was at Batista bat flip. I was at that playoff game and Blue Jays when Batista hits the home run, does the bat flip. That's the craziest thing I've ever witnessed personally, because the crowd was charged. Like before Batista hit that home run, like we all thought he was going to hit a home run. Like everybody was jumping, everybody is standing in the whole stadium. When he hits that home run, everybody was best friends instantly. Except if you're a Rangers fan and you feel like dog poop, but because you suck. But I felt real good for you this year, Aaron, when like I picked Colorado at the very beginning of the year. I was like, that's the team I think is going to win it.
You're a better man than Eric Oriana.
I wanted to pick it because first off, Nate McKinnon, I just wanted him to get a cup. It's just one of those times when you see players, and Nazem Kadri. I love that Kadri got a cup, and I love the fact at the end he gets interviewed and he takes it out on the Leaf fans. I love that, man.
Yes, big fan.
Yeah, he was just like, for all you people back in Toronto, like, suck it.
Yeah.
It's like, what a great guy. I love it. But I thought it was a great playoff. It was our first non-asterisk Stanley Cup final, I would say, in the last little bit. Yeah. And hard fought, Colorado wins it with little to no goaltending. But, I was very happy for you, and I always love the fact that I saw you get to go to a Stanley Cup final game, because those are they're special moments, and there's something you remember forever.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you saw me tweeting the entire time. I never missed a game, which is very rare for me. Watched every single game. When we lost, I wasn't in my chair at home, and so like even fellow Avs fans were like, "You're gonna be home tonight, right? Like you're gonna be in your chair, like watching it." So getting into the superstition of it all was a ton of fun. And like, I didn't wear a jersey for a single one because when we lost to Vegas in the playoffs, I had been wearing a jersey for like 2 or 3 games and we lost. And I had like just gotten my first jersey and I was like, never again. And so I wouldn't wear a jersey on game day. All the superstitions were to load. It was great. It was so much fun.
I mean, Colorado is such a good team. Like, I like McKinnon's attitude, but the fact that team had so many like veterans on it, the whole story about EJ, and he's like, I was thinking about retiring. Like, they convinced me to come back, and like, now he wins, and like, he was just skating. Like, I don't know. It's a lot of likable plays.
I was so pumped for Landeskog. Like, for him to actually be able to win it after however many seasons he's put in Colorado, and humble brag, I got a selfie with him at the parade.
I saw that.
Was
super
awesome.
cool.
Yes.
He jumped off the truck and was just running around, and I was like, Landy, can we get a pic? And he ran over and we grabbed a quick selfie, and like that was an awesome moment. And yeah, it was such a fun postseason.
You threw that on Twitter, and like everybody in the video game world, just nothing, and like all of us were like, oh, that's the greatest thing ever.
I know. Dude, it's really funny because like my Twitter is like film and video game Twitter typically. Like that's what people identify with. Like my lowest engagement was all around hockey, and I'm fine. Like it was still so much fun.
Hey, I do that every now and then. I'll have fun because I'm new to video game film Twitter, and it's been a year, but I've gotten people, but like today I only talked hockey and I lost followers, and I knew that would happen.
Yeah,
anytime I do it, but I'm always just like, I can throw it like a controversial Bruins tweet, and I'll have a lot of people responding to me. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
The Bruins will. After today, because the Ottawa Senators didn't sign anybody, they did things, and the Detroit Red Wings did things. I'm going to throw out a prediction right now for next year's hockey season. The Boston Bruins don't even make the playoffs. They don't. The Detroit Red Wings got better, and they were a very good team, and they took a huge step. And I would say the Ottawa Senators took bigger steps than anybody else in the Atlantic, and they did it through phenomenal trades. They had to trade Connor Brown. It is what it is. But DeBrincat, Jesus, Claude Giroux,
Yep.
They have a very good team with Tkachuk. Like they're going to be fast. They're going to be hard to play against. The Atlantic will be the hardest division in the NHL next year. The Leafs have 0 goaltending, so Boston has that in their favor. Like literally, like that was the absolute worst. I don't know. Like I don't get it. Like I always laugh here in Toronto. They're always just like, Kyle Dubas is this, Kyle Dubas is that. I'm like, Kyle Dubas had a potential Vezina goalie in Anderson who went to Carolina and was amazing. And he was like, nah, he wasn't good enough. We need Jack Campbell. Then they have Jack Campbell, and Jack Campbell played a phenomenal with the absolute atrocious defense that's in front of him. Yep. And they let him go because the Toronto Maple Leafs play one way, and that's selfish. They have Austin Matthews, phenomenal hockey player, but Austin Matthews cares about one person, Austin Matthews, the whole time he's on the ice. That's why I love the Colorado Avalanche. They played as a team this year, and I love that kind of stuff. And it's sort of the New York Rangers. So, like, there was teams that deserved to get where they were, and that's because they did what they did. There's a reason the Toronto Maple Leafs lose in the first round every year. They're a bunch of selfish people that just play for themselves. It is what it is. It's obvious to see.
Shows that more than Nate McKinnon dragging Landeskog off after he broke his skate.
Yep.
Like,
or
that
the
was
fact that when they win the cup,
watch.
they brought it over to Eric Johnson within seconds.
Yep.
He pulled a Joe Sakic moment. Yeah, when the Colorado Avalanche, actually the last time the Avalanche won the cup before this time,
2001. Yep.
They won, and instead of lifting the cup over his head, Joe Sakic gave it to Ray Bourque.
Yeah.
And Landeskog pulled the exact same moment this year, and I was just like, all class. I love that kind of stuff. That's the thing I love. So I look at the teams and what has transpired today. We just before we got started this, Johnny Gaudreau signs with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I'm just like, whatever team he signed on, it was going to be an overpay.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bad contract in 3 to 4 years, and I just don't get it. I don't understand why year in and year out GMs make such bad decisions. Ottawa giving the money to Claude Giroux, that's nothing. It's negligible on a team that has no money spent, period, and all they are is youth, and they're bringing in a guy like that, and they got a goalie this year. Like, they got a lot of good pieces in Ottawa, and they're going to be competitive. But when you see a team like Columbus, you're like, what do you do? Like, you don't have the pieces to surround. It would actually have made more sense if Ottawa did that deal. They just had pieces.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go to, what is it, the Rangers? People was
No,
tied
it was
to?
Devils or Philly.
Yeah,
Devils or Philly? Because he's from Jersey, right?
Philly.
Why was he linked to Jersey?
Oh, so because
Jersey has money.
Yeah,
It's a money deal, dude. And Jersey has money. They just got rid of Pacha for Eric Holla. They have money.
Pavel Zacha.
Pavel Zacha. I don't know.
Sorry, and he came to the Bruins, and you're a Bruins fan. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care about Pavel Zacha. Okay.
Right.
Just
You
like
think the fan base is going to do any better?
just like I don't care that David Krejci is potentially coming back. I don't care. Let me tell you why, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care. This is going down with the Titanic. These are the deck chairs being moved on a sinking Titanic, ladies and gentlemen, because the Boston Bruins are putting all of their gifts into two 36-year-old stockings.
I can't wait.
That are falling apart at the seams. Waba.
Well, don't ever say that about Bergeron. I will drive down there
I
and I
love
will
Patrice
slap you upside the
Bergeron.
face.
I love Patrice Bergeron, but let's be clear here. Patrice Bergeron hasn't been healthy since the Berlin Wall fell down.
Oh my God.
Am I incorrect?
You are incorrect. He is.
I am not incorrect.
He's a
The man
beautiful
is-
man.
Beautiful.
I won't hear anything ever.
He cannot stay healthy, and that's not me saying I don't want him back. But
He's unbelievable.
The reason that they are praying that Krejci and Bergeron come back is because their farm system is so barren, right? There's nothing.
100%.
There's no one to come up and play center. Jack Stanika, maybe, but other than that, you got no one. Fabian Lysell, probably 2-3 years away, and he's not even a center, right? Centers are so important in the NHL, and the Bruins have none. So what they need to do, so what they're doing is praying on their knees, praying and wishing and hoping that Bergeron comes back and he plays at a Selke level once again, which he probably will, and that David Krejci comes back and he plays at a level that is competent enough that you can stick him between Hall and Pasternak and he'll be fine.
Oh, you put him between Zacha and Pasta, and you have three Czech players.
Can we just say the name?
Okay, imagine the froggy Boston. Yeah, Pavel Zacha.
Okay, but
Like,
hold on.
this
Can
fan base
we
won't
not?
figure out
Can
his
we
name.
not insult Taylor Hall, who is a former Hart Trophy winner, and Pavel Zacha can't hold his jockstrap? We're not doing a checkmate line. We're not doing a
Checkmate, yes!
Nothing. It's not.
Do you know why Don Sweeney went out and got Zacha?
For Christ's
Because he looked at the 2015 draft and he said, I failed 3 times in a row. I want to fail again. And he took the number 6 pick that has been pure butt.
Here's what's going to happen. I mean, if we're signing old vets, these are foolproof predictions. Ready? So Bergeron's going to come back. Krejci's going to come back.
I swear to God, if you say Milan Lucic, I'm ending this podcast.
No, this is totally serious. The Bruins are going to trade for Lucic.
Oh,
hate
fuck.
They're going to trade for Char. We're going to get Recchi back, and we're going to activate McQuaid and Kelly from the coaching staff onto the roster. Pick it and stick it.
I hate
You know what? It
Bring
doesn't
back
matter.
the boys.
Like I said, I make my predictions. Unfortunately, I don't think the Colorado Avalanche will repeat Stanley Cup champions. I don't have a team that I think is going to win the cup just yet. I think the Rangers might take a step forward just because they got a great goaltender and they're a very good hockey club. And if they do get Nazem Kadri, that is a huge plus for them to have a guy like that all year and so on and so forth, all that shenanigans. I think Colorado put a lot out there, and I think a guy like Landeskog and Nathan, it's going to be tough for them to climb that mountain twice. If they do
Think
it,
so?
But
I do.
their
do,
goaltending
but-
got better.
Yes.
Right.
So that is one thing right there. I think they can add pieces. So they will be a contender at a very, but I think the parity that we'll see in the NHL this year is something that we've never seen before. I truly think that we're going to see, like, I just look at what the Atlantic just happened there. I think we're going to see a very balanced NHL for the first time in a long time, but you're going to see like 4 or 5 extremely terrible teams that are going to try and purposely finish last to get that first overall pick.
Oh, Chicago's going to.
What do you think holds the Avs back, though? Like, really, the only loss they've had is we got rid of Darcy to free up some space, which was a move up for us. I think Georgie's is
Honestly,
better.
inexperience on possibly going, like, the one thing you can give to Tampa is they were a veteran riddled hockey club. So when they went for their back-to-back, it was like they knew what to do. I think with Colorado, it's going to do, your first 3 months are going to be that big test. Are they going to have that hangover? Like, look at the Washington Capitals when they finally won it and they were just dog poop the next season. I don't want that from Colorado because I look at that hockey club and I look at Kyle McCarr as top 5 player in the league.
Yeah.
Like, the guy is unbelievable. He breaks ankles. I love watching him play hockey. Like, the guy is just unreal. I think he's potential Norris Trophy every year for the rest of his career. Gabriel Landeskog, the way he plays hockey reminds me a lot of Peter Forsberg, and guys like that, their body it breaks down quick, and it's going to be a Dustin Brown drop off. Not a Forsberg drop off. When Forsberg dropped off, it was a drop. When Dustin Brown dropped off, it was a drop. So my hope is a guy like Landeskog and Nate and Makar can do one more year, because I don't know if Landeskog's body's got that much more mileage left on it.
It'll
he's key. He is so key.
It'll depend on, and this is God's honest truth. It'll depend on how much they party this offseason. Because when the Bruins won, they party.
Oh yeah.
Because when the Bruins won in 2011, they did not have a good 2012 season, and there were very substantiated rumors that Sean Thornton literally had to kick Tyler Seguin and Brad Marchand out of Boston. And then they lost in the first round to Washington. So, that hangover, what Tampa did was something that'll probably never happen again, right? 3 straight finals is really, really hard. So yeah, I could see, Colorado's going to be in the mix, but I think Edmonton will be in the mix again, right? Draisaitl.
They got a goalie and they got Campbell.
Yep. So
getting a goalie for Edmonton is going to be huge.
I think
Colorado has a better team than Edmonton. If I look at the Pacific, Colorado's a better team.
So, I can't look until all the pieces are put together, right? Sure. I'm not going to say like they can't make it, no, blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you right now, Bruins fans, it's not going to be pretty. This year might be fine. Might be fine.
Dude, you're not going to have Marchand till December, McAvoy till December. You could sit down, Waba, but just picture this. You right now are going to have, if he comes back, and I truly believe, and this is what I'm putting out into the ether, Bergeron and Krejci are waiting for Pasternak to have his contract re-upped. It makes too much sense. Mind you, Sweeney doesn't make the move he makes today unless he knows that Krejci and Bergeron are coming back. You don't trade Holla unless you know those two are coming back.
Right. He pretty much came out and said, that's going to be 1 year, money deals.
Yes, but he also said the Krejci one is not a guarantee. Like, I can say this. You know what? I don't even care. Doesn't matter anymore. I could say this for 100% to be a fact that I know that David Krejci had his reason for leaving was straight for he wanted to go back to his family, and there was a deal in place for him to come back, but they couldn't make it work through waivers. He was 100% coming back last year to the Boston Bruins halfway through the season. It was 100% part of his plan. It was all along. That was the thing. They couldn't make a deal through waivers to make it work because too many teams got involved to block it. Otherwise, David Krejci was coming back. Had nothing to do with the coach. I hate the narrative. I think it's stupid and it's not real. Also, Patrice Bergeron. He is seriously, it has nothing to do with anything. He was coming back. It is what it is. I don't know if he's 100% coming back. It sounds like he is. And then with regards to Jake DeBrusk, did he have issues with his coach? 100%. Were those issues squashed? 100%. Would he have came back even if Bruce was still the coach? 100%. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with him being a whiny little baby, and a bunch of these kids on these teams just can't take someone telling them no, because they grew up the whole time with their parents of going, you can have anything you want. You're the best in the world. Well, every now and then these kids need to be told no. The fact that, like, yeah, you had a guy down in the minors to ask for a trade, and they're all like, "Oh, it's the coach." Like, the coach is not even. Bruce has nothing to do with the minors. Like, stop being whiny little babies.
Yeah,
like your whole generation
this year.
A whole generation of whiny babies.
Court, did you watch Top Gun this year?
Oh, I loved it.
He lived Top Gun.
That speech reminded me of that when he's just like, "These are the best pilots in the world, and they've been told that their whole life."
Well, it just I don't understand it when it was like the narrative that went around Boston. It was like, oh, they're all coming back because the coach, even though Bergeron's come out and said that's not true, and like it's knowing the things I know sometimes. I'm just like, man, people are stupid, like just so stupid. Like the things I see on Twitter right now. I'm not rooting for Vegas this year. I'm sorry, I am rooting for Vegas this year, but I'm also rooting for Boston. But Vegas is the most mismanaged franchise I've ever seen. Their owner needs to just stay out of it. The fact that they traded Nick Suzuki to get Max Pacioretty and then ended up trading Max Pacioretty a couple seasons later for nothing, and Nick Suzuki is a perennial soon-to-be all-star in this NHL league. That's sad. And they also
missed out on drafting Cale Makar. They passed on Cale.
Dude, they did so many dumb things. But you know what? When it comes to drafts, I don't get on teams anymore, besides Don Sweeney in his very first draft, because that's embarrassing. But it's a crapshoot, man. It's like this year's draft. Like, look at it. Shane Wright. That was the most beautiful thing when he stares down the Montreal.
Oh, my God.
I loved it. I loved him more.
Storylines. So, what, I guess, I don't know. What other hockey thoughts from the group?
This is just for you guys. I know you were big card collectors, but the thing I got into this year, and I only have 3 so far. When we went down to the playoff game, I spent way too much money. We got the pennant for the conference championships. We went all out, and I started collecting some pucks.
Ooh.
So I have my Cale Makar puck.
He's so good, man.
He's so good.
I think I might
that's
just
the Stanley Cup jersey is a Cale
Makar.
Makar jersey.
This year was the first year I actually cheered for another team to win a cup.
Nate McKinnon's 200th goal puck. And then, of course, I had to get myself the Stanley Cup final Avs Tampa puck.
Ooh,
so this became a random new obsession of mine that I didn't know would be a thing, but I was really excited, and I plan on probably picking up more of these as the seasons roll on.
A little fact here for you. That was made in Canada there, buddy.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Just like hockey, buddy.
The pucks are made in Quebec.
That's awesome.
Good pick with Makar. What I also like about Makar, and you can kind of see this when they start doing the
made in Quebec. It says it right on the bottom.
Quebec. When they all started doing the cup, he waited his turn.
You too.
Like Makar is one of the reasons why they won. Man wasn't even in the top
not one.
10.
He is literally one of the best players in the world.
Wasn't he between like 15 and 20 for people to lift the cup on his team? He's took a step back for the vets.
Oh, he's so
respect
humble.
that.
And when you're talking about like partying in the off season, at least I don't have to worry about Cale. Like, he was so tame during the parade. He would be like super humble. Like when he got to where we were in the parade, we had all hail Cale chants, MVP chants, and he was just so like, no, it's okay. And he was like showing off Taves, and like he was really trying to lift up his whole team. He's Absolutely one of my favorite players. I
Cade's
think it was
most
after they won
underrated.
the conference championships that they pulled him off to the side and they said, "Do you have any reason to celebrate yet?" And he said, "Nope, work's not done,"
Well, he's
and
also
just
not
got
old enough
out of
to
the
drink.
interview. What was
Can't
what?
drink. He's not also not old enough to drink. He's a youngin.
Oh, please stop.
22? Oh, I was like, hold on.
No,
I
I'm
know
kidding.
he's a baby, but isn't he at
No,
least
I'm
over
messing.
21?
I know we were talking about Pacioretty. Breaking 5 minutes ago. Pacioretty to the Hurricanes.
That wasn't 5 minutes ago. I already told you that. I said before we started, he got traded for nothing.
8 p.m. Why are they just tweeting out about it now?
Oh, dude.
Never mind. I forget it. Why do I ask?
It's not breaking news. I literally just said that that Vegas
non-breaking
traded Nick Suzuki for this guy, and then they ended up trading him for nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Any other final hockey thoughts before we move on to some dad thoughts?
Yeah, I have a question, Aaron. Tell me tell me how amazing the parade was, because I was unable to go to the Bruins Stanley Cup Parade. So
It
I
was
wanna live vicariously.
amazing. We were gonna go to the park, where the parade ends, and they have the stage in front of the Capitol, and they all the players get to give their speech and all of that. A lot of my friends were like, "We're gonna go straight to the park and skip the parade," and I was like, "Nah, forget that. We're going to go and find a good spot of the parade." So we were right up against the gate. My kid got to literally stand on the gate. And so players were jumping down and running around and high-fiving. Like I said at the beginning, I got a selfie with Landeskog. The energy was absolutely incredible. And then seeing the cup was unbelievable. It was so much fun. I got to see Miko do a shoey. That was awesome. He stopped right in front of us and did it, and that was
Disgusting.
hilarious.
Was it your shoe?
No, it wasn't my shoe. It was his shoe. That was awesome. And then another guy just a couple feet away from me, this is how Colorado kind of treated everything that I really respected. A dude tried to throw his Makar jersey up and completely missed the truck. And they stopped, and the passenger of the truck jumped out, grabbed the jersey, tossed it up to Makar. Makar signed it. They got the jersey back down, and they walked it over and made sure it went back to the original owner. And then the parade kept moving. They just treated the fans with such respect.
Dude, except the cops didn't, because the cops
Except
tried to arrest the player. Who was the player?
Bo Byram.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
he
Got all
was
these
over there
concussions. He almost gets
drinking with
arrested.
some of the fans, and when he tried to get back to the parade, a bicycle cop pulled up. This was on our block, and he was like, "Hey, you need to get back over the fence. You really need to get back with the fans." And he's like, "What? No, I'm with the parade." And the entire section started screaming, "That's Bo! That's Bo!" And the cop was finally like, "Oh, my bad." And he totally facepalmed and felt so embarrassed, and he got to go back to the parade, but.
That was awesome. That's an awesome moment, though.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was great. And then after the parade, we did go to the park. And no shame at all. My kid was like, "This is overwhelming." There were so many people. They were predicting 200,000 fans in downtown Denver for the parade and the celebration, and they ended up with 500,000 people in downtown Denver. So he was like, "I don't want to lose you. I'm over it. We saw the parade. Can we go?" And I was like, "Yep." And they just opened an In-N-Out in Colorado within the last 6 months. So jumped in the car, went to In-N-Out, grabbed a burger, and then came home. And it was awesome. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
So
Incredible.
Is your son a huge hockey fan now?
Yeah. Yep. Although it was hilarious, we talked about Superstitions. He leaves during the second period. He won't watch any further because the 2 times he did, they lost.
Huh.
And he's like, "I'm out." And I was like, "Okay." And he'd go upstairs, and then we'd win. And he'd be like, "Nope, no more." So
Hockey, okay. Sports superstitions are very foreign to me because I don't have them.
no,
No, well, because
I have a couple.
Think of it. Okay, so one person doing an independent action, it's like that's not the cause. Because if that's true, then
Sure.
every single fan has to do the specific thing. Because
and
I've
they
had
all
friends
do. That's my belief.
people have to sit in certain seats. Someone has to be standing. Someone has to be facing, the North Pole when someone kicks a field goal or something. I don't know. What do you guys have any other superstitions?
Yeah, so
that?
Mine are gross because I'm a hockey player, and ours are weird. So during the season, the socks that I wear, which are very thin inside my skates, I don't wash them at all. Regardless of what happens, I don't wash them throughout the year. Same with my undershirt. I wear the same undershirt and same socks throughout the whole season. And I do not wash them once because I don't ever want to put them on and then they're the hard and the dry thing. I like them to damp, stinky the whole time. See, you asked. Also, the way I always tape my stick heel to toe every single time, and I tape it before every game.
That one's
There's
not that great.
that-
That seems a little more practical, though. Actually, the other one does too, even though it's a little stinky. It's about the feel under the.
100%. I don't. When you wash your gear underneath your equipment, you can feel it. So, like for the players, they get their stuff washed every game, so it's not that big of a deal. But some of the guys don't. I know this for a fact. Some of the guys don't wash their stuff. It's like if you look at the Boston Bruins, Patrice Bergeron wears the same shirt from the 2011 playoffs. That's the shirt he wears underneath his equipment every game.
He's amazing. Never mind. That's not gross anymore. It's perfect.
And I am a big fly fisherman too, and they have these things called buffs. They go around your neck to help keep the sun off, and then you can pull them up over your head. So if you don't want to get sunburned or bugs or whatever, they're very lightweight, so they're breathable. I have one that's the pattern of a brown trout, and I've been fishing with that buff for 4 years, and I've never washed it. And it's because it's
Makes
my lucky
sense.
buff. It's my lucky buff.
Pez, what's your weird superstition?
I don't have any. I don't have any now. When I played like football in high school and college, I never washed any of my stuff.
What is with, dude?
Dude, I'm telling
That
you,
is the thing.
it's
was-
the feel under your equipment. It is.
So it was.
We're Under Armour.
It wasn't.
Shut up.
Under Armour wasn't a thing in 2001 when I played.
Okay,
when
fine,
I
fair.
played football. So it was like, this is gonna be this is my shirt. This is now my shirt, and I'm gonna wear it for the whole year, and I'm not gonna wash it. And it was disgusting. And I
The
did it in
majority of
college.
my high
and it
school
was
football
disgusting.
team, we went back-to-back state champs, and almost none of us washed our jerseys the entire season.
See,
Going into
Bubba?
next year.
I watched
be-
every single time I went. Like, okay, maybe that's just because I'm like, paranoid. But
Because you're Wubba?
I watched everything. What did I?
How'd
did I have
that
weird
work out
superstition?
for you? How'd that work out for you?
I was I was 5'8". At the time, I was 170. I was the strongest lineman on our team.
I can't see
Okay.
Wubba as an athlete in any way, shape, or form. I need to see actual
I am
was-
blown
very good.
away by what you just told me.
I was I used to be incredibly strong. I mean, I still am. I just don't show off like that because I don't want to, make you guys feel,
That's fair.
bad. But at my age, I was doing like benching over 200, which I think for my size was a lot. I know
So
taller, stronger people can do
so-
more.
so is Queen of the North like ask what happened?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
What, so I used to be in my
Hey,
prime.
I gotta motivate him somehow because he said he was gonna do all this workout stuff and then he just didn't. So I've got to start giving him some straight truth.
So I used to be in my prime, and then I took an arrow to the knee. It's very
An arrow,
Don't be an adventurer, my guy.
like an actual arrow.
no, but
What?
Court's never
From
played
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
I did.
Oh,
I can tell you during the 2011 playoffs, when they won Game 7 against Montreal, I was wearing a Chara jersey, so I had to wear it every game. And then the 2013 Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1, when they went to like 3 or 4 overtimes, it was like, I think it was 3 overtimes. I just put up a new Bruins flag that day, so I had to take it down. I took it down literally 2 a.m. Like, I think the game ended at like 1:30 in the morning. 2 a.m. I was outside taking my Bruins flag down.
Do you know how bad I wanted to wear a jersey during the Stanley Cup Finals this year? And I was like, absolutely not. Just there's no way. In fact, the pictures of me and my partner Riss that we posted when we won the Stanley Cup, we made sure we won, and then we went and put on jerseys and took the selfie to celebrate.
Nice.
But if it's as soon as you put it on, they actually say, over the line.
Oh yeah,
Goal doesn't count.
Brett Hull's
Speaking
skate
of,
was in the
like-
crease.
things that like that. I think the most savage thing the Avs did was whoever their social media manager is. The first photo they posted of all the players on the ice with the cup said "too many men on the ice," and I thought
Oh,
that
dude.
was hysterical.
that was.
Loved it.
I was saying
I loved it.
t-shirts need to be made when when Nazem Kadri had the t-shirt. I was like, that's the greatest thing ever.
so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
screw them. You know what? Screw them. Tampa whining like little babies about you can call too many men on the ice like 15 times a game. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Plus, abusing LTIR. But that's a different.
And it had no effect on the play. That's my end of my rant.
Mm,
So let's
Don't you start, Court.
yeah. So let's switch from hockey, Court. I'm gonna pass it to you. But let's talk about our dad related topic of the day. So Court, I know you had some questions about.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Bargain.
I do apologize. I'm playing an embargoed game right now. I have no choice. I have to keep playing, and it's driving me nuts. I don't have.
You can
as a
stop
parent,
for 20 minutes, Corey.
As a parent, you know what? No, I don't have time to do anything. I've got to do my day job, and I've got to get this done. But my question to you is, Aaron, like we always give our opinions about being parents that have a lot more help. Let's be straight up and just go straight at it. Yeah. You as a parent, actually since the last time we spoke to you, you have gone through a divorce, and you are now a single dad. And before the show, you were telling us even how rewarding it's felt for you. And I would love you to share that because I'm sure there are listeners to this show that, they're single parents too. And every now and then a single parent needs to be told how awesome they are. Yeah. And like, I know I've told you through DMs, I'm just like, dude, you're killing it. Like, this is awesome. Like, parents don't get enough recognition sometimes. And I think we do a ton out there. And, you have to do it by yourself. And I feel lucky to have a partner to do it with.
Totally. It was quite the change. I will say my transition was probably easier than most. My ex-wife she's not anymore, but she was a night nurse. And so 4 nights a week, she was working 12-hour shifts and then coming home to sleep. So like, I kind of had to pick up a lot of that responsibility anyways. And I've just always been very, very, very close with my son because of that. Like, before he was in school, when she'd have to come home and sleep, it was always like, okay, let's go do this. Let's get out of the house. Let's let her sleep. Let's do whatever we need to do. And so we were just kind of always on the go together. We did a lot of camping trips and things like that. We did a lot of stuff solo, just the two of us. And that kind of made this transition into this new season a lot easier. He's with me every night of the week, weeknights, and then 1 weekend a month, and then 3 weekends with his mom. So I have him about 80% of the time, and I love it. He's 10, he'll be 11 in August. So like, there's a developmental difference there. If you guys have like a lot younger kids, there's a lot more reasoning and talking, and we've had to set up some boundaries just to make sure like we also know that we need a little bit of space, which is fine. And so we've set up nights like Monday. I think scheduling has been huge for us. So Monday night, it's always like game night or whatever. Like we're going to either play video games or a board game or whatever. But it's like no phones, no screens unless we're playing like Fortnite or something. But it's going to be together if that's the case. But it's us to just kind of connect. And then Tuesday night is alone night. So we hang out when I get off work for a couple hours. And then he gets to go upstairs and do whatever he wants. He has a loft with a TV and a PlayStation 4. And so if he wants to play video games or he wants to watch cartoons or whatever, that's fine. And then I come down and I get to decompress. I get to have my time of doing whatever I need to do, like catching up on projects or whatever. And then Wednesday night is just kind of what we call whatever night. Like he has to help cook dinner that night as part of his chores, and we make sure we cook dinner together and we eat, and then we just kind of decide what we want to do. Lately, it's been our Star Wars night or our Marvel night because that's when Disney Plus always drops their shows on Wednesday. So we're catching up on that type of stuff, and then we're hanging out until bed. And then Thursday nights, because I do have a partner now, it's guys' night. Like she's not allowed, and we make a big deal about that. And so it's just me and him every Thursday night. We get to do whatever we want. Whether that's video games or lately
girls
we've
have
been
cootie
picking
signs.
A movie.
You just gotta sign up on the door. It says girls have cooties.
Yeah, basically.
No girls allowed.
We turn on the man cave light, you know what I mean? And like, and so Thursday night is dude's night. It's just whatever me and him want to do. We make sure that we connect, just the two of us. And then Friday afternoon, we just kind of do whatever until he goes to his mom's. And then he comes back Sunday at 3. And that is also, it's kind of like Wednesday. Like we're going to for sure connect and do something, but we don't really know. That's kind of our whatever. Maybe we'll go out to dinner. Maybe we'll hang out at the house. Maybe we'll go play yard games. So I think that was probably the biggest thing for us was like our life got turned upside down, not to quote the Fresh Prince.
Honestly, like as soon as you did it, I was just like, wow, you like straight up.
Did not mean to. As the words were coming out, I was like, that's where that
got flipped turned upside
committed
down, and I'd like to take a minute. Yeah,
and to sit right there.
So He loves 90s sitcoms, hilariously enough. We watched all of Fresh Prince together. And now that it's summer, he watched The Nanny because,
Oof.
yeah, HBO suggested it. They're like, oh, you like Fresh Prince? Check out The Nanny.
No.
And so I'd come out like during my lunch breaks and stuff because I'm lucky enough to work from home. And, so I make him lunch and come check on him throughout the day when he's here with me. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm watching the 90s hit The Nanny. And he watched all of it. And now we're watching Boy Meets World together, which is
Okay.
There we go. Boy, that's
yeah,
fine.
exactly. I was like, I never watched The Nanny. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know. They suggested it and it's hilarious. So, yeah. So with life changing, like we knew we needed kind of a plan. And my first plan was a schedule. And that's been awesome. Like it's been super helpful. And he looks forward to every night. Like he knows we have something planned and he gets really excited about it, including his alone time. My kid is incredibly extroverted, much like his father. So knowing to like learn to be okay being by yourself and not needing people there all the time is like kind of a crucial skill. And that's been really, really fun. So,
and how has it been? You're lucky enough. I saw your partner who gave you that most amazing gift on your first date. Well done. That was impressive.
Crushed it.
How has it been for you? Like, have you struggled? Have you had times where you're just like, man, it's tough by myself? I know you have a partner now. No, okay, that's awesome.
I know that we tend to put like our highlight reels out on social media. But being a dad is not one of those things. Like when I talk about being a dad on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, like it is the most genuine, true me that there is. So no, it hasn't been hard at all. I've never had one of those moments, which I think having the foresight of being like Tuesday nights, we separate. Like it's just one night a week. We just need to have that kind of like chill time for everybody so we're not over each other. It's always the perfect recharge for the rest of the week because we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday's kind of that recharge, Wednesday, Thursday, and then he's only gone 2 nights out of the week. So I don't know, it's been really, really good, and I've never had one of those moments where I'm like, God, I can't do this.
Dude, that's awesome. Because like even I wouldn't say I've had the moment where I can't, but even as someone that has a partner here, you have those moments where I almost need I need to be by myself. Just give me 5 minutes, and you don't get that. So you can technically never have that moment when even though you do have your nights, but you're always on call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
But
I would say the worst it's gotten is you run to the restroom and maybe you just scroll TikTok for a few more minutes than you normally would.
Yeah, I
do you get that little breather, and then you go back out there.
And
put me in, coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Major respect, because it is, as someone who also has a child that will be 11 in like a week or so, man, they're getting into that age, man, where it's going to be rough, right? It's going to be tough, and you're managing it, and you're doing a great job. And as a child of a single parent, I just want to commend you, because it's hard work. I know you said like there's never a time where you're like, oh man, like I need like a break, but like it's hard work, man. And so to be able to do that, just major respect, because as a product of a single parent who later got married, and they had a great marriage, and I love my stepdad, right? So just big ups to you, because it's a hard thing to do, right? You go from a union where it's like, this is what kind of our goal is going to be, and then that doesn't work out, and then it's okay, I need to focus on making my child, this person, a functioning adult. Like that's the goal for us as parents, right? We're gonna make this person a functioning adult. And there's a lot, my wife is, I am my wife's second husband. Like she went through the divorce thing, and my oldest daughter went through it. So like major respect and major empathy on what you have to do, because it is not easy. And you seem to be, you have a very good structure in place and seem to be handling it incredibly well.
Well, and kudos on taking on the role of stepdad, like watching my partner come in and like they're just kind of in the friend phase and all of that kind of stuff. Like that is a whole new territory. Like she's known my kid since he was 3. So like she's been around forever, but like that is a new intense realm that I'm having to watch them go through. And like they haven't had any fights or anything, but it's just I can see that dynamic shift, and both of them don't really know how to handle the situation anymore. And like, what does this really look like? And so, dude, kudos to you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we could talk step parenting on a whole another show, because it is different.
Yeah. I can only imagine. But as far as a single parent thing, like I was also raised by a single parent, and he was the worst. So like, I don't know if he'll ever listen to this. I haven't talked to my dad in 2 years. But like he was an abusive drunk, and like that's the reality of it. And so to be able to have my what not to do list was also super helpful.
Yep.
Like anytime he's gotten in trouble, which is very rare, he's a really good kid. My patience is on a completely different level because of how little patience I was received. Like I never got it. And so it's a lot easier. Like the worst thing my kid's ever done was this year, he called the school bully a dick and got in trouble for it and got slapped in the face for it too by said bully.
But let's be honest here.
Oh, sorry about PG.
The bully is a dick. So
Right.
I was gonna say like you're fully being that.
Yeah. Like
I mean,
this
the
kid
hit,
was
you know,
crazy, and
the
like
slap proves it.
So
Yeah.
your kid called the spade a spade, and he got punished for it. And it's just it is what it is.
Although really like the teachers just called me to let me know what happened. He didn't actually really get in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, he did at home. He got grounded for I think only 2 nights. He punished himself way more than I ever could. But the other kid got suspended because he took the swing. Right. My kid just threw out some words. And probably in one of my weaker parenting moments, I was like, so when he hit you, did it hurt? And he was like, oh, no, I'm fine. I was like, cool. Then you can take him if he swings again.
There you go. Well, no, you know what? It's like my daughter's she's only 5, and she told someone that they were being rude, and that person, another little girl, hit her. And my first thought in my head was like, I'm going through it. I'm like, hitting is bad. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, if my daughter was a boy, I'd be like,
better swing back.
Yeah, that's and you know what? We shouldn't think that way, but
no, I know, but it's such an instinct.
It was my very first thought, because I know as a kid, like growing up on the schoolyard, like in the 80s, like if someone takes a swing at you, you better swing back, because the teacher is not going to back you up. And I still found it funny that the teacher like messaged us and was like, okay, so there was an incident and your daughter used words, and because the same sort of thing. And I'm just like, you're talking to me and my daughter got hit, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, nope. No. So no, I told my daughter what she did was wrong, but at the same time, I'm like, it wasn't. Why am I doing this? Like, I felt weird to have this conversation. I'm like,
well, especially because you just said rude. Like, calling the kid dick is like a little bit more intense. It was him and 2 other buddies, and they decided that they should go do this. And I was like, why were you the one? I was like, you were the nice kid. Like, why were you the one? And he was
so they provoked it.
And he was like, I lost nose goes. And I was like, dude, that's not legally binding. Like, what do you mean you lost nose goes?
I was like the most thought process, but
oh yeah, you gotta.
But you now know that your son is going to be extremely loyal to his friends, because
he's a ride or die.
Yeah, he's ride or die for sure. So that's that's decent.
And you know how to get him to do whatever you want. Just be like, well, nose goes. And
exactly.
Boom, there you go to bed time.
I tried that, and he goes, it's not legally binding, Dad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now it's not. Dude, moving the goalpost.
Oh, man. No, it was a great. It's funny, like, because he is such a good kid. Like, if he was having huge problems, I'd be a lot more worried about it. But like, that is the funniest story to me, because if you've ever had like a 10-second conversation with him, he's just like the sweetest little dude. And so when the principal called me, and she's like, well, he called the kid a dick. Like, I had to choke down laughter. I was like, oh my God, because he just told me about this kid, and like, he is rough. So yeah.
Honestly, my first response to the principal would have been like, is he a dick though?
Is he? Because from what I hear, he is.
Yeah, from what I understand, kid's a bit of a dick. So
yeah.
That's the way I would be. I don't know. I always have fun, like with my daughter's daycare or whatever. They'll say something. I'm like, yeah, but
like, isn't he? Yeah. And the only reason the kid got grounded is because our number one rule in this house is actions have consequences. And
fair enough.
Like, you got to learn. Like,
look at you as a good dad.
Right.
That's right.
But it's
You're
hard.
threatening the
Sometimes
kid,
It's
and you're
hard, and
like,
you're like, I'm kind of on your side though. But,
yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
That's-
tell me to pass on the lesson.
That's the toughest one. It's like we don't hit, but if someone puts their hands on you, you can hit them. And then they're like,
Right.
but you just told me
Don't
you
hit.
can't hit someone. It's like,
Self-defense.
Damn it.
but you're like, but there's a gray area, and like, if Waba touches you, punch him in the face,
Right.
make it hurt.
No.
break his Ouija board.
They'll go into financial ruin. Aaron, do you have any advice for maybe people going through the same thing? Like, I'm sure you face some challenge. It sounds like you've really handled the situation, like probably as best case scenario. But like, for people maybe who are having a tough time, or maybe challenges with like drop off and like that, what comes after, like those types of feelings. Do you have any, I don't know, advice for maybe someone who's experienced the same thing?
Yeah. Check in. Just communicate. I think parents are afraid that their kids can't handle it. They're too young. I think they get way too into their head, that they can't have those conversations. We're coming up on a year, and at least once a month. How you doing? How you feeling? Like, have any questions or emotions come up? Like, let's just talk about it. And the first couple, he kind of buried it a little bit, and I think that's just kind of natural. We don't like those uncomfortable conversations. And just staying persistent. He's always willing to be open now and like talk things out and see what's going on. And we had to talk about like death yesterday, which was really intense. And he broke down crying because he lost a teacher to a tragic car accident. Like, it was just one of those things. And this is his advanced teacher. He's in advanced reading and writing. And so this is somebody he would have had next year as well. And like, now that teacher won't be there. And like, that was really hard for him. It was the first time he had like lost somebody. But because of all the conversations over the last year, he was willing to have that breakdown. He was willing to talk about like what he was feeling and how he was processing that. So just give your kids more credit. Like, I think we're so afraid of what they'll think, or if we're putting too much on them, and really you're not. They want to talk. They want to be able to explore those feelings, and it's okay to check in for you and for them. And they want to know that you care about what they're thinking and feeling. So they are going to be more open to it. So
I think that's good advice. I think that's
Understand that our kids are smarter than us.
totally. 100%.
100%.
I feel like communication can solve a lot of challenges. I feel, but both parties might be a little hesitant.
My daughter's already learned how to manipulate me so well. Like, it was Amazon Prime Day, and I'm looking at things. She's like, "Daddy, that Lego would look very good in your office." I was like, "It would." She's like, "You should buy it, Daddy. But you should let me we'll put it together, and you let me do it.
Let's do it together." That's a killer.
She gets me every time.
I would say, I would agree with Aaron. Communication is the most important thing. Check in. Like, I have a 10-year-old. She's going to be 11. Turning into she's going to a new school next year. We moved to a new city, so it's once a month. How's it going? How you feeling? Do you still hate living here? Sometimes it's yes.
Yeah, oh wow,
that's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you have different things to go through.
No, I only have one kid living here now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The adult has moved out. My 18-year-old has moved out to go be an adult, and I said, look. And that's a whole different thing, because she was like, I'm ready to move out. I'm ready to be on my own. And I said, you are 18 years old. If that is what you want to do, Godspeed.
Yeah.
And so far,
less
so
stress.
good. Oh yeah, 100% less stress. But yeah, so definitely check in with your children. Hey, how's it going? And like, my daughter is very introverted, which is shocking because of who her parents are. Because if you met my wife and I, we are extremely extroverted. She's very introverted, so it's like, it's like pulling taffy, right, to get stuff out of her. Because you just like, are you sure you're okay? Yes, Dad, I'm okay. Are you 100% sure you're okay? I know sometimes you might not be okay. You can tell me it's okay to not be okay. Oh, well, I'm a little upset about this. I'm like, dude, say it the first time. It's fine. You'll be fine.
It's like dealing with Waba. Honestly,
we actually have we have a parent question in chat. So Aaron, aka Ace, who is an awesome Bruins fan, by the way, how can I discipline my child if I don't have all the details of what happened? Dads, I'm gonna throw it out to you. How do we answer? How do you discipline your child if you don't have all the details of what happened?
I'll go. For me, it's just I have to take my daughter's words and build that trust, because if we don't have trust, then what do we have? So I'm going to ask her what happened. 9 times out of 10, she's going to say she forgets. But when she forgets, then I know that she was in the wrong, just right off the bat. So then we have that conversation and we go down the road of, this is what you should have done. And I'm not saying you did. You get to do that thing where you're like, say to your kid, I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but you try and do positive reinforcement, because I grew up in a house that was a lot of negative reinforcement. I know a lot of people think that like I grew up in like this great thing and like the NHL and all that great stuff. Well, guess what? It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. So I try and do exactly as Aaron said. I try and do the opposite, and I try and give my kid as much love as possible, but at the same time, still keep those boundaries of that, like, let her know that when she does something wrong, I'm not going to be impressed. And I do find that, like, because I give her so much attention and give her so much love, that when I am disappointed in her, it hits her hard.
Yep.
Like, she straight up like goes in a corner and she feels absolutely terrible about it. So you know what? Then I know I'm doing a great job. But yeah, it's really, if I don't know everything that happened through it, I just have to ask her, and I have to trust everything she's telling me is the truth. And there's not much more I can do.
Kids are so good at punishing themselves. I wish like our parents would have realized that. Like, we will beat ourselves up really, really well if you let it. And so for me, like, the two things I would say is, I'm always curious. I would say, oh, I'm curious if you feel this way, or I'm curious if this happened. What do you think? And like, then there's no accusatory behind it. Curious has helped a lot with feelings, maybe not quite as much if I don't have all the facts, but it's always been very just like kind of an open thing when I start with that. And then he did go through, this is years and years ago, he's going to go into 5th grade. This was in 1st grade. He had a pretty rough lying phase where if he got in trouble, his nervous reaction was to kick in, and like Court said, like, I forget, or, you know, he just kind of wanted to avoid details. And so it was just the gentle reminder at the very beginning of the conversation, hey, our consequences better or worse when we're honest? And he was always like, better. Cool. Now let's talk about the thing. And that reminder of, you've lied to me in the past, and your punishment, like being grounded or whatever, no screen time or whatever it was exacerbated because I got more facts later, right? So like, isn't it so much better if you just give me all the facts? And when that would happen and I would get the rest of the facts later and they were all like lined up with his story, then it was that positive reinforcement that Court, like, I might shave time off his sentence. If it was just like he was 1 night no screen time or 2 nights no screen time, I might take a night off and just be like, dude, I'm really proud of you for being honest. And so rewarding honesty. And it's just a gentle reminder at the beginning of the conversation, this can go one of 2 ways. You can be super honest with me and you know it's not going to be as bad, or you can just tell me what you want to tell me. And if I find out you're lying, I'm sorry, that action now has a consequence. I have to tag on this many more nights of no screen time or whatever it is. So where do you want to go? And give him that decision. And that, since 1st grade, has worked great. Anytime a situation has come up, when he called the kid a dick, it was like, I picked him up from school, I had all the facts, and it was like, all I said was, I know something happened at school today. Here are your 2 options. What would you like to do? And he walked me through exactly what happened. So I think that trust piece is huge. And I think that trust piece is built off those very gentle reminders of, you have 2 paths in front of you. Which one do you want to take?
Yeah, I agree.
My kid's too
completely.
young for that.
So I was very much the same way, but my wife was very much. My wife is very much a knock on the door parent, which can be terrifying for children. And my oldest, you know how teenage girls get. They're catty, they're mean, and my oldest and girls would get and you know, and the thing now is, I'm gonna sound very old, but the thing now is, they're connected to each other all the time, right? Because they have cell phones, they have their, TikToks and Instagram and all that stuff, and they group chats, right? They are literally connected to each other all the time. And I would tell my 18-year-old all the time, because she'd be like, how do you deal with so-and-so, making fun of you all the time? And I was like, I don't know. I never had that problem. Because like after school, it was either they call the house or they come to your house. People aren't going to come to your house.
Yeah, but you were like the big bully, weren't you? Like, you seemed like a bully.
No, I was the little fat kid.
Oh, same here.
Yeah. So I was the one picked on.
And you're a ginger, like that's double.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Back in the 90s and early aughts, gingerism wasn't
as big of a deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agreed.
Yeah. Now South Park really pushed gingerism into the limelight. But we I always told her that, like, again, there's two ways this can go, because usually when we're asking you the questions, we know the answer already. Right. But it was always, if we don't know the story, it was, all right, tell me your story. But then if it's an issue with a kid, my wife would just go to the kid's house and knock on the door and talk to the parents. My wife is a social worker. She does not care. She does this for a living, right? She goes to the house. Okay, so-and-so has an issue with my daughter. Can we talk to them? I want to find out what's going on. And you find out that, like, and I tell my youngest this too, like, stories end up somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. It's never like, oh, I didn't do this. It was Janie that did this. No one is ever named Janie anymore, but Janie did this. And it's like, Janie. No, it was somewhere in the middle, right? Like, you were also kind of a...
When was anybody ever named Janie?
Ever. I was wondering the same thing. I've never heard that name.
Is that a Massachusetts thing?
Janie's, no, I don't think that's it.
No, it's not Jesse's Girl. You were thinking the Rick
No,
Springfield song.
I wasn't thinking of Jesse's Girl. I was thinking of...
I think you were.
Of the Aerosmith song. It's Janie's Got a Gun.
Jenny's.
Right?
Jenny's Got a Gun.
It's not Jenny's Got a Gun.
It is Jenny.
Is it Jenny's Got a Gun?
Jenny's got a gun.
Yeah.
Dang, I thought it was
always on the run.
What is
okay, we're not going into song again. I'm not doing that.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
You know what I was listening to today? It was very good, by the way. Vertical Horizon.
We're not doing it, Court. We're not doing it.
But
we're not doing it, Court.
All back.
Well, you weren't on last week, Aaron. We sang Creed, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Oh my God.
Now you say, like, I know I don't have a serious answer like you folks because my kid's 3, but I do like when they tell us something happened and it's like, oh, so and so, like, let's say, Ben, pushed your kid and we had to separate them. I'm like, yeah, well, Ben pooped his pants last week. So,
does your kid rat you out yet? Like, my kid rats me out all the time. It's fine.
No, I parent you well.
That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean?
Because my kid will rat me out when I do stuff that I shouldn't be doing.
Oh yeah, like, sometimes it's like, hey, like he took this, and I'm like, I was gonna give you some. So guess what? Now we're partners in crime, and now if I go down, you go down.
No, my daughter never. My daughter will rat out my wife, and will rat me out. She picks no sides.
Dude,
she only knows right from wrong.
Rats me out all the time. When I got my OLED Switch, she came with me, and we got home, and she walks through the door after I would tell her, like, I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna give you my old one. Walks through the door and says, "Hey, Mom, Dad bought a new Switch." I was like, "You son of a gun."
So
yeah, son of you.
I don't know if you guys remember the first time your kid ever lied to you, though. Mine was he was in preschool and he took a kid's Ben 10 watch, and he had it on his wrist as we were driving home, and I was like, "Where did you get that?" And that was the moment he realized taking this from a kid and bringing it home was not okay. And he just, like, in a panic, just goes, Amazon. I was like,
he ordered it.
Nice.
In what world does this preschooler know how Amazon works?
Good on him, though. That's a smart answer.
It was quick, too. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. But luckily, I've not been in too much trouble. But, man.
So, So good questions from the chat, and you can also ask them if you want to join us next time at youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole. Do we have any
you can make requests for songs next time too.
That too. Court has a wide discography.
I also listened to the new Alexis on Fire album today. Oh my God, so good.
You could say we take requests with arms wide open.
Oh my God. Oh,
My
God, I don't-
sacrifice. Have you seen how many times he does this move in that
Oh
video?
my god, what a
At one point, he even
banger.
double fists. Oh god.
What a banger.
I don't know what it is, but God, Big Brother's got to be watching because we were talking Creed last week, and then my TikTok was full of Creed videos.
Oh no.
Today, the beautiful Scott Staff showed up on my TikTok For You page.
It's no
Couldn't
getting
believe
away.
it. Couldn't believe
Yeah,
it.
I could. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Any final thoughts from the group?
No, I dug out a jersey.
There we go.
Last
Be
time
good
I
to your
wore it, I
kids.
think.
Man who go to bed with itchy bum, wake up with smelly hand.
It's And with that nugget of knowledge, we want to say a big thank you again, Aaron Seaney.
just
Thank you so
happened?
much for joining us.
We just-
Thank you so much for gloating about winning a championship in your second year of enjoying a team. I'm sure it'll be very tough for you next year when you guys make it to the playoffs and do well. I'm just jealous because my team has no centers right now. Our team. But if you want to see more of us, please make sure to rate us on your podcast platform of choice. Before we sign up, Aaron, wait, where can people hang out with you? They know this already. They hang out
should.
with you, but if in case someone doesn't, where can they hang out with you?
The new one. I mean, first I'll start with my general. Like, if you want to just hear my thoughts on whatever, being a dad is probably what I talk about the most at this point. You can find me on Twitter at Aaron Seaney, AARONSEANEY. And then you can also check out my podcast, Give Me 20. It's a 20-minute short form podcast that we hang out and just tell life stories. The kid calling somebody a dick story is definitely an entire episode. But it's only 20 minutes and it's awesome. And that Twitter is Give Me 20 Pod on their Twitter. But really just search for us on Spotify. We don't do a lot with Twitter. We mostly just do the podcast. But that comes out once a month, shockingly, on the 20th of every month.
I
Good
love
chow.
that. So check it out. Support the folks that support us. Make sure to check us out, youtube.com/2 that's in a console if you want to be part of the show and see some videos. We have some new ones coming up soon. Believe big market tees, so
Here's
make
the
sure to stay
thing.
tuned.
I didn't even know about Give Me 20. How do I not know about these things?
He tweets about it.
I do. We even released
Dude.
merch last month. There was
Hey,
a chance.
first off,
we
I am
did-
barely on my Twitter now because I run another social media Twitter, and so it's you got to like straight up DM me sometimes.
All right. Well, we did a limited run. You missed out. We did.
I just
Give Me 20
followed.
merch.
I'm not gonna miss out following. I'm in.
All right. I think we'll probably do it again next year. We did Give May 20 on May 20th. And that's when we released the merch and we did a 20-day run of merch. So we'll probably do it again next year.
There's so much 20. I love the
Yeah, we really stick to a bit, you know?
demon.
I would.
Yeah.
We should stick to we should do on the 3rd.
What?
Three
For
dads.
3.
I get that.
I'm just stealing a good idea. Anyway,
Are you though?
I'm
Don't steal the man's ideas.
I'm not. Anyway, thank you. If you want to see us steal more ideas, you can join us next week. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.